Why is mindfulness the key to happiness? Mindfulness brings concentration. Concentration brings insight. Insight liberates you from your ignorance, your anger, your craving. When you are free from your afflictions, happiness becomes possible. How can you be happy when you are overloaded with anger, ignorance, and craving? That is why the insight that can liberate you from these afflictions is the key to happiness. There are many conditions of happiness that are present, but people don't recognize them because they are not mindful. Finding Happiness and Love, the Buddhist Way, by Thich Nhat Hanh. When body and mind are together, you are fully present. You are fully alive, and you can touch the wonders of life that are available in the here and the now. So you practice not only with your mind, but with your body. Body and mind should be experienced as one thing, not two. On that ground, you see that everything you are looking for is already there. Whether it is enlightenment, nirvana, liberation, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or happiness, it is right there. In fact, that is the only place, the only moment where you can find these things. That is why the practice is important, and talking is not enough. You have to practice enough to really stop your running around so that you can establish yourself in the present moment. That is the very beginning of the practice. Stopping, looking deeply, and finding happiness and liberation. That is the Buddhist path. Suffering and happiness inter-are. We can recognize happiness only against the background of suffering. It's like when you recognize the white against the background of the black. Only if you have been hungry can you experience the joy of having something to eat. If you experience the suffering of war, you can recognize the value of peace. Otherwise, you don't appreciate peace, and you want to make war. So your experience of the suffering of war serves as the background for your happiness about peace. Therefore, to have some suffering is very important. You learn from suffering, and against that background, you can recognize happiness. There is a deep tendency in us to seek pleasure and avoid suffering. It is rooted in the store consciousness, called manas in Sanskrit. Manas is always seeking pleasure and trying to avoid pain and suffering. Manas isn't aware of the danger of pleasure seeking because there is ignorance in manas. It is like a fish who is about to bite the bait and does not know that inside of the bait there is a hook. Manas isn't aware of the danger of pleasure and does not know that suffering has its own goodness. It is good to experience some suffering because when you suffer, you develop compassion and understanding. When you have mindfulness, when you have enough courage to go back to yourself and embrace the suffering in you, you learn a lot. By doing so, you transform your suffering. If you're always trying to run away from your suffering, you have no chance to do that. If we are so afraid of suffering, we have no chance. At the moment you were born, you began to experience fear, original fear, because you risked death in that very crucial moment. You just got out from a very comfortable place, the uterus of your mother, and they have cut the umbilical cord. Now you have to breathe by yourself, and there is liquid in your lungs. You have to evacuate that liquid in order to take your first in-breath. And if you cannot do that, you will die. So the first experience of fear takes place at that moment, and the original desire, the desire to survive, is also born in that moment. As a baby, you learn that you are helpless. You know you cannot survive unless there is someone taking care of you. When you hear the steps of someone coming, you recognize them as the person who will take care of you, and you are happy. You spend all of your time waiting for that sound, because when that person comes, there will be milk, there will be warmth, there will be everything. Love in Buddhism always begins with yourself before the manifestation of the other person in your life. The teaching of love in Buddhism is that when you go home to yourself, you recognize the suffering in you. Then the understanding of your own suffering will help you to feel better and to love, because you feel the completeness, the fulfillment in yourself. So you don't need another person to begin to love. You can begin with yourself. True love does not just choose one person. When true love is there, you shine like a lamp. You don't just shine on one person in the room. That light you emit is for everyone in the room. If you really have love in you, everyone around you will profit. Not only humans, but animals, plants, and minerals. Love, true love, is that. True love is equanimity.